for this term. That I am looking. Member Brownberg. I'm looking for page 4. I'm going to look for it, Member Warmington, but the newly redrafted standing orders contemplate legislation and powers in it as it relates to persons who run afoul of instructions or procedures established by the House. I'm going to locate it and find it and read it for you. Member Brownberg.
Thank you very much for that. Madam Chair, I also want to add my words of appreciation to the members of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, both for the sessions that were held, which were very informative, very useful, and for the work that they have done in terms of helping us to get this far with members of staff and so on. I appreciate that. I am thinking, though, a couple of things. One is in relation to your question about how to approach it. I am hoping that we can indeed not take the whole hog all at once, because I do believe that there is a way in which we could take it in pieces. Not necessarily, you said last time they were each provision one by one, but that's not necessarily what I'm thinking. We have 14 parts plus the appendices and other stuff. If we decide, say, that we are going to do it in 5 sessions, for example.
No, that wasn't the intent. When I said we would have to take all of it, meaning we would have to finish the process, not that we would do it in 1 session.
Okay.
Okay. No, man.
Yeah, okay.
Not that we would do it in 1 session, but it wouldn't be where piecemeal we only looked at and submit to the House one segment.
We are at one. Right.
So it may even take us 10 sessions.
Right.
But it means that based on how it is designed and formulated, we would have to complete the process of reviewing.
Agreed. I'm in total agreement with that.
All right.
So that's
I'm going to give you an example of
Don't
why.
give me, because I agree with you.
Yeah, you agree. Everybody in agreement? Everybody?
It's
I have
clear.
to make sure, that the membership, either majority or everybody. Look here, I am making sure, that. So I will give you an example, like if you look at Standing Order 12, and the current redrafted Standing Order 12, and you can compare it to Standing Order 35 in the revised document. So if you notice before, when we couldn't make any adjustments, we used to go alphanumeric designation to be able to chuck in something new. Now, the Standing Orders revise. For example, if you look at it, 73A, 1 section separate, B, 73C, going down. And it would now relate to the various committees. No, and it would continue if we decided to introduce new committees that these standing orders apply to, these provisions apply to.
Madam Chair, I've not made sufficient notes, so when you stop and go on a little while, sometimes I'm going to forget, and I don't want to be able to forget.
Go ahead.
The items that I want to bring to your attention.
Go ahead.
The other, I am not sure from what you have said whether it was that the benchmark documents were distributed in the last iteration of the committee, but I do believe that it is a document that this committee, the members of the committee at this point, that would serve us well if we could look at any of the prior documents, whether it is the benchmarking documents that we came up with on the basis of which this was done, rather than only looking at the final document. I'm one of those, I like to see some of our background documents that have brought us this far, so I can also do some comparison. So I'm asking if that could be made available. That's one. I also am thinking that I look at it and I see some very, I know that one of the things we have been struggling with, which we had a long conversation around in the sessions that we did for the post election seminars that we had, was around the role of the speaker and the judgment of the speaker. And because in our arrangement, the speaker has such great latitude, I believe that some of the items that we have should have more specificity. And the example I would bring to your attention is, I think it is part 3, item 17, I don't know, standing order 17, which is around the dress, for example. Which has been a very problematic one over the years because what we have is so archaic. So dress just simply says that members shall wear business attire in all proceedings. And then next it says, the speaker may from time to time issue specific guidelines regarding acceptable attire and shall be the final arbiter of the suitability of a member's dress. I am extremely not comfortable with that. I believe it's too vague when you simply say business attire. I would hate to know that I come to Parliament with my fitted jacket, my nice fitted pants, nice suit, and the speaker believes it's too tight.
I have actually seen someone
no, man, I can
whose
tell you.
clothes was so tight, member.
No, but
that the buttons open in the Parliament.
I can walk in my clothes, it's not too tight.
No, meaning
because
I have seen a member sit down in this house. I decided not to point it out, and it is in a recent time.
No, but I want to raise it so the speaker can allow me to complete and then go.
All the bus buttons opening inside the house. And I will go further.
Madam Speaker, I would want you to hear me because you are the one with the latitude. And I am just alerting that when you have such a latitude, it cannot be that vague. I don't want to go into the conversation today because I assume that there's going to be a time when we are going to do it. I'm just alerting that given the powers of the speaker and this idea where some believe that the speaker doesn't have to be fair, that we need sufficient, you know where I'm going, you know where I'm coming from. So
the presenter didn't say some. The presenter was very clear.
No, that was the presenter's opinion.
Yeah, the presenter was very clear.
That was the presenter's opinion. I don't happen to share it. And that is the reason why I want to make sure in such circumstances, we have enough specificity for there to be some guideline. It's not for the speaker. It's for all of us because these are our rules that guide us. And I just alerting for that. I think outside of that, I'm good. The two most important things is additional documents that were used or that were developed from which we ended up having
No, you wouldn't have had other documents developed. So you wouldn't have had other documents developed. So let's split the two benchmark discussion.
Yes.
I think I was just listening to see if we're on the same page in that regard. One of them would have been a benchmark review of our Parliament.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'd like to be able to see the benchmark
right,
review.
so it wasn't really standing orders.
No, but it's generally, and it would have some implications, would it not?
No, so that's why I wanted to make sure you're clear on that. The benchmark is really the standard across various different parliaments. What is the standard across Commonwealth parliaments? So they would be able to give you, right, like the standing orders now that would have highlighted what is best practice in various jurisdictions. So I will find out from Sean if he has a document per se, or he can give us a body of documents that we can refer to as like a research or background to be utilized.
Thanks for that. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping we can get.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure everybody is clear in that regard. Thanks, Member.
No problem.
Do you have any other point before just making sure?
I'm sorry, that the specificity.
All right, let me answer that as well. As it relates to specificity required, there is no parliament anywhere in the world where the speaker is going to have such specific guidelines for everything that, no, I'm just saying this generally. Such specific guidelines for everything. So much so I'll say to you, in even going into Trinidad and Tobago when we visited, the speaker in Trinidad and Tobago uses what she called at the time speaker's notes. I think that's what it's called, huh? I'll explain what it, remember. Like the reminder notes. So like some standing orders, they would send out just a reminder just to refresh persons' understanding of something or give some clarity to a standing order. There was a note to it I think it's called speaker's notes. Huh? No, not in opening remarks. It's a written document that would have been circulated. Like one of them I remember was as it relates to persons who carried phones in the chamber, instrument in the chamber, giving an update. One of them was like noise in the chamber where people came and, right. So there were some speakers' briefing notes that used to be circulated from time to time. But I will go to next member. House leader, turn your mic back on, please. Yeah, turn off yours for, yes, thank you. And then turn yours back
you
on.
have, thank you, Chair, but you have dealt with it. So I was just confirming that the listing was sent out on the 5th of December via email. However, clearly needs to be sent again and brought to the, and I will also have the House print copies that we can share with the membership so that they have a physical copy.
And House leader, the clerk has already issued instructions and the email has now been recirculated as we speak. The member who raised the issue isn't here. I will remind him of the date of the email and today's date of its recirculation.
Thank you. I was looking at